working a little bit better. I could remove that. Like I couldn't remove that wall because it goes down in there. So I just took a Sawzall and I cut the bolts off, or the screws off that held the frame. I put in some extra supports along there, caulked it and sealed it, replaced some beams up there in the front portion, and over here I replaced this bottom. That's the reason why they drop down on the outside and then they separate and they leak, because this 2x3 that runs along here got wet and it's so soft that screws won't hold that up. I do have the front window. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, we're missing some pieces here. It's rotted off. And it's actually raining today and there's some puddles of water. I put a bucket there, but I'll put it back. I found on the internet a place that I called, and they're making me a 1/2 inch by 17 inches by 74 inches of that plastic board, white, so I can take this window out, and I'm going to I'm going to rebuild the frame at that time when I take the window out. I'm going to make sure it's a day that's not raining. It's been raining every day of my vacation. But I'm going to build a real good frame, add some extra supports and stuff. And we're going to block that window off, take that out, put that plastic board up on the outside, and it'll look pretty good because Lowe's actually sells something similar to what I was going to get, but they didn't have it wide enough, and they wanted me to glue two pieces together, and they have screws that when you screw it in you can't even tell from the screws, because they almost look like the panel itself. And I was going to go with that. It was around $150. Glue two of them together, maybe put it in the middle on the inside across there up to the 1 inch overhang, and that way it'd still be solid. They said I wouldn't have to do that, but I was going to do that anyways. This is where I'm at, and this here was still solid, and the plywood still solid. So I'm going to make a frame. I cut these off. They went across on both sides. Went that way. I cut them off, and I'm going to make a frame that fits inside here. I'm going to make the frame first, just the outside frame. Come down here, up there, you know, just go around this thing, the hose, and up the front there where the screws will hold it in, where the front seam is. That's where you end it, like right after that. And I'll make a frame and make sure that it fits, and then I'll go from frame to the outer, screw it together, because if you just go into this, you're going to split the damn wood, trying to put a beam or a board in there and go from here to here. You're just going to split it. So I'm going to make another frame so that I can screw in from both sides. And I'll drop it down in here. Then I can screw the frame into here, screw the frame into there, and then when I know that the rough outside framing works, when it fits, I can take it in and I'll put it on a 1/8" piece of plywood so that you have something in between this and your beam. And then when it's all screwed in the sidewalls here on both sides. When it's screwed in here, screwed in here. Then I'll put 1/2" OSB, 1/2" OSB on top of it. And then other than that, and fixing that, which isn't going to be a big deal because I'm just going to run from one side to the other and put my new plastic 1/2" plastic board up on the outside, waterproof. It's not going to, warp or anything else. I hate to get rid of the window. I kind of like the window, but I don't like it leaking all the time. So it's a trade-off. Get rid of it, stop the leaking. Well, other than doing that, I'll show you when I'm done with this, and maybe before I put the plywood on, and I'll show you with the new window or board that I'm getting. I'll show you that. Show it on the outside too, so you see, shouldn't look like crap. Just don't be in a hurry. That's all there is to it. But if you start it, you have to finish it. Everybody starts it, and then 5 years later, it still looks like crap, and they have to junk the damn thing. But this thing's going to look good. I'm not going to show you me putting all, the paneling in, because I think you can, if you figure this out and get all that replacement wood in, you don't need nobody showing you how to put paneling in. I did terminate up here on the first seam so that the new plywood goes here, or paneling, and I put all that in, and then there's a strip that goes over it, here. So, you can't get exactly the same stuff that's on the ceiling. My wife said something about painting it. I'd hate like hell to paint it. I want some, I think we can get something that looks halfway decent for the front part of the, for the old overhead cab there. I was thinking about sealing them windows, but then I was thinking, if they ever leak and I gotta pull them out, I'm gonna be screwed. They don't leak, so, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's what I always say. And I did it all without removing the whole front and back. Yeah, this does drop down when you take the screws out. You take the screws out down here that holds to this. This thing does drop down. You want to clean it up, scrape it up. I did put some caulking, 1-inch caulking tape, and then, but you want to get everything set up to this, and then go outside and then screw this thing up. Make sure that the siding's on the inside, and then I just took clear silicone because the lip is like a 1/4 inch and a lot of it's ate up on the outside, so you're really not dropping over enough, so you have to seal it that way. There's no other way to do it. You have to get some sealer stuff, and I got some here, which is pretty cool. This is Loctite. It says seal and bond. I got that for the outside. It's clear. It goes on white, but then it turns clear. And for all these, everything that's put together, I put together with this stuff. Tight Bond Ultimate. I bought 2 bottles of this. I got like over 3/4 of it still left. Looks like I'm gonna have to probably give it away because I don't think you can use all that. But boy, oh boy, when you put this stuff on, plus when you put a new one in here, a new 2x3, you can't screw from the bottom into this. You can go up here, go down, but then I just went here and put L brackets, like $20 worth of L brackets all the way down at the end, and I added extra bracing so that when we go to pull this panel up, or when we put a bed in there, that it's not holding on to just one or 2 little. That's where the other one was down there. See, too damn far away. So I added 3 of them. Well, restoring over cab on the cheap. We all know there's a know-it-all out there that says you should do it this way, that way, and yeah, probably should, but that way is probably expensive. And like I said, I had a budget of $1. I'm over that. I'm going to be roughly $300 with the new front window, and with this thing all done. And I used my composite wood decking screws. Yeah, they're composite wood decking screws. I used those on everything, one of those. Like I say, the vehicle wasn't worth that much, so it's all right to be cheap. I used fine. I think the next time this thing needs to be taken apart, it's probably going to be because they're scrapping it. But it's all going to turn out nice. I'll let you see it at the next step. Thanks for watching.